Welcome back, everyone. Quickly, let's continue our discussion on HTML input attributes. And right now, we'll be discussing about the list attribute in the HTML input element. The input list attribute refers to a data list element that contains predefined options for an input element. I've discussed about this in our previous tutorial. Don't you forget. You can check our HTML input type of list. You can check our HTML input list. So I've discussed about this in our previous tutorial. I forgot the title I gave it, but you can check our list. I've checked it. You can check our HTML form playlist to be able to understand what I'm talking about. That we have discussed about it in details. So I'm going to use it right now quickly. Let me go and use it. We are using our input type of list attribute. It refers the input list attribute refers to a data list. That is, it refers to a data list. This is the data list. It refers to the data list element that contains predefined options for an input element. So I'm going to show you how this works quickly. Let's get back to our document. Let's quickly break a page right here. Let's break it and give it two line. Let's give it two gap. We give it two gap. Let's give it a label. Label for what? Label for list. So right here now, label for list attribute. When we write this list attribute, we are going to see how it works quickly. So let's give it a colon, close it like that, and come here and write our input. Right here we are not going to use type, so we are just going to use input list. When we use input list, let's see what we have quickly. Right, let's reload. Can you see when we use input list, we are having input type of text also, but this one is meant for list. So when we want to use it in a reasonable manner, we are going to use data list because it's worked with the data list element. So this one, data list. This data list, I told you earlier in our other video also that VS Code is not having this by default. That's why we are unable to see, and we are having option. We can place option, many options as much as we want here. You can place any as much as. Let me write options. You can write option 1, option 2. Let's copy this so you can be able to understand what I'm talking about. Quickly, let's just place 3 options here and give it a value. Let's give this anwar. I won't be explaining this too much here, so you can be able to know that I will discuss about it before. That's why I'm just trying to quickly talk about it right now. You can give this yes, you can give this an ID, and you can give it you can give it ID if you want, and you can give it any other thing also. This one right here, if you say data, you can just say DA, just give it DA also. Let's give this one also DA. Let's reload our document and reload our, when we reload our document, let's write A. As you can see, when I write A, it automatically open up my data list. As you can see, I have anwar there, akorede, ayofe there. All these inputs I'm having here, I can click anyone I want out of it, as you can see. So you can give any ID you want. You can give KKK, but the name must pertain with our KKK here, must pertain with our input list, input type of input attribute that is having the input list attribute right here. The name inside it must be the name you specify in your data list ID. So that's when you can work. If you don't specify in that manner, it will never work. Now let's write another thing. Let's say we want to write we write A again. As you can see, when we write A, it open our data list for us to choose something. So for us to be able to choose something from here, let's say let me add another option here, so you can see that we are really reading, we are seriously reading this data list. So I'm going to add love. Let me just write big love like this, capital letter love. So let's reload our document and come here and write L. When I write there, you see it automatically enter my data list, bring it out for me, and I click it, and we can send it and we can use it and do anything we want with it. That's the benefit of using what input that is having the list attribute. And right here right now, as you can see, we are not using the type again. If you give it type of text, let's see what we show. As you can see, the same thing, we are not seeing it right here. As you can see, let's write. As you can see, even let's try another thing again. Let's say for instance now we remove this list right here now, and we now give our this thing now KKK, and we give this name also kkk. Let's give this id also kkk. Maybe it's good to work with it. I don't know, just try your luck. If it works, let's try anwar. Can you see it's not reading it? Can you see when we press L7 it's not reading it? It's not reading it. That's why the fact that we put input type of input type of kkk input. Let's say we put input type of text. So input type of text, right? Let's save it. If we use it like this, let's say kkk, as you can see. Let's use L, it will not display it. Let's use A, it will not display it. It's on S, you use your input that is having attribute list. This attribute list is going to have the same name you specify inside your data list id right here. That's when it can also give you the data you are having inside your IDs. Now let me write a let me write no, let's reload our document and come back here and write something. No, it's not showing. Why is it not showing? Maybe the thing I write is not patent. Maybe because I have id here again. Let's reload our document and write a. Oh, you see, it's not taking a. You must not specify a inside it, id again inside it again. The id must be inside our data list here. Must be the id we are having inside our data. If you are trying to specify another id inside it again, it will not work with your document again. It will make your it will not even active. It will not do the job for you again. So that's why, as you can see, when I write a now, I'm able to see. But when I say I mistakenly had id here, I mistakenly I now write kkk again, it will not work again. No. Let's reload our document so you can see that it will not work. When I write a, you see it's not working. When I write l, it's not working. So that's why I'm saying you should not add another id here, because it's not taking id again. The id must be from the data list elements right here. So to be able to read all this. So that's what I want to show you about the HTML input and that is having id, that is having list attribute. So that's what I want to show you about the list attribute in HTML input element. Anwar Akorede is my name. I wish to see you guys next time, and to the next tutorial. Have a great day. Bye.